Yo, today is Monday and we are back with Pimp Game, the podcast, where we highlight positive, intelligent, motivated people each and every single Monday. We got you. Boy, do we got a special show for you guys on tap today. That's right, Kanye West and Adidas are headed for a reunion, at least allegedly. Are they going to do it? Are they going to get back? What are they going to do? And first, before I go into it, let me tell you guys right now, I want to thank all my viewers out there for tuning in, as well as my YouTube lovers out there. I want to thank you as well. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. That's right, you're going to subscribe. Go to iamkennyd and subscribe. We are doing it. Let's get out to 2,000 subscribers on the year. Let's do it, because we are going to bring it to you each and every single Monday, each and every single week. We are coming with heat, and we got you. So, also too, we got a special guest. He goes by the name of NEVEN. I like it. He's the owner and CEO of Jackie L Entertainment. He's going to be at the show at 8:30 to talk about what he got going on right now, live on IG, on the Pimp Game Podcast. So, let's say it right now. It's crazy. Kanye West and Adidas, they might be headed for a reunion. So what I'm sensing here is Adidas, they can't make, I don't know, they can't do without Kanye. They found it out the hard way. Like, yo, this brother is really the face of the franchise for Adidas. He really is. He's doing his thing. That's what it's all about. And Kanye West said a lot of troubling things. He mentioned the anti-Semitic comments, talk about the Jews, all of that. Stepped away. He wanted to get out of those deals anyway. But now they might be headed for a new deal. Why? Because Adidas is in jeopardy of losing millions, maybe billions of dollars by not being able to resell Kanye West's Yeezys. And those shoes are comfortable, I heard. I'm going to have to get me a pair. I ain't got none, Kanye. Hey, but it's coming. You re-up your deal with Adidas, I'm going to have to show some love and get me a pair of Yeezys. Man, let me say, it's difficult, man, when you're dealing with these corporations. Your brand, you are a brand. You got to make sure you on your best behavior. Make sure you don't trouble the fans, because you might be a mentor to somebody, or you might be a You might be a role model for somebody, some little girl out there, some little boy out there. They're looking up to you. You got to be careful what you say. You just got to be careful what you say. You can't be talking reckless. You can't be on Drink Champs just sharing with the world whatever you want to share with the world. They won't let you do that. They're going to cut ties with you. But in Kanye West's defense, he ain't yay for nothing. This dude's mind is out of this world. Kanye said, hey, that's cool. I believe in this. I believe in that. I'm sticking by it. I'm telling the truth. I don't care. I understand. My only thing was with him, I didn't want, nobody coming after him trying to, threaten his life. He got a family, he got daughters, he got a wife or alleged or ex-wife, whatever. It don't matter. He still got family, and I didn't want that to be a hindrance to him. But with everything being said, Kanye West, man, if Adidas is trying to get back with him, he's really looking like a genius. And they tried to sell his shoes. They tried to sell it on their own. They said, hey, we're going to go out here and sell it. We're going to sell it to everybody across the world, even though it's your shoe. Kanye West said, He owns the trademark to that. He owns the trademark. Make sure, people, you get your business intact. Make sure you own the trademark, whatever. Make sure ownership is key. And that's what he did. He has the trademark for the brand, for the Yeezy brand. You can't just up and sell his shoe like that and get paid. It ain't going to happen like that. So I think it's smart to go in with a deal with Adidas, go back into it. They had a beautiful relationship. Well, allegedly, they had a beautiful relationship before all the anti-Semitic comments and things of that nature. They were doing it. They really got some work done. They really showed the Yeezys like no other. They really did their thing. I really believe that they should get back together if they haven't already. I know they're talking about it. They're in discussions to get the best deal. Now you got to think that Kanye has a lot of leverage with them wanting to come back to him, and he can't, or they can't sell the shoe without him, without his imprint in it. And let me say this to my black people out there. I think some of us may not know how much power you have. May not know. You may not know. We got power. The black dollar is powerful. A lot of us blacks, we're buying crazy stuff out there. Gucci, Prada, Birkin bags, and all of this. I mean, we're buying. We are buying. Looking good at that too. But Kanye West ain't no dummy. He ain't no dummy. I told this to my father. He went off on me. Oh, he's stupid. He don't know what he's talking about. Now Adidas is trying to get back with him. That got to tell you something. At least, at the very least, the brother ain't crazy. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he is doing. That's just what it is. Now, if they get back together, I think it'll be for the better. Because now Kanye West, he done spilled the beans. He done said all he could say. You don't need to say no more. Collect your money. Get back to billionaire status, which you probably already close. I don't see him being too far off of that. The dude, his brain is he could just make money on all fronts. The shoes, maybe he could design clothes. He could go out here and do a tour right now and sell out. And I like that. I really like that. He got power. He has some power with him. I like that. I'm feeling it. Yo, if you are just joining us, we're live on the Pimp Game Podcast, and we are here talking about the potential reunion between Kanye West and Adidas. That's what we're talking about. And then at the bottom of the hour, 8:30, in about 15, 14, 13 minutes, we got a special guest. He goes by the name of NEVEN. That's right. He is the CEO of Jackie L Entertainment. We are going to have him on the show to talk about what he got going on right now on the Pimp Game Podcast. My bad. So that's what it is. Kanye West is a G. Kanye West is a G. And even me, I saw the comments on Drink Champs. I saw him ratting out on Drink Champs. I saw him kirking out on Drink Champs and just saying whatever he wanted to say, going off, doing his thing, just doing whatever he wanted to do. He didn't care who he affected. I seen him on the videos talking about this person been sacrificed, calling out names, that person been sacrificed. I mean, he just spilling the beans, telling you whatever. Telling you whatever. And I guess it comes to a point in a man's life where you say, man, I'm sick of it. If they want to, I don't know, take me out of here, let them take me out of here. Now, I don't want them taking them out of here, but I'm just saying, that might be what it is. That might be what it is. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Do you think Adidas should get back with Kanye West? Do you think it should be a reunion? Let me know. Because I don't know. I'm not sure. But I think if they do, I think it'll be a beautiful thing. Make some more money. Hey, one thing I respect about white people that I love, and Marlon Wayans said this, and I believe it. When white people have a bad dispute, they got an argument with their brother, argument with their cousin, representing somebody they argue with, somebody who's they might be representing, they working, doing business with. Even if they have an argument, they can come back and say, hey, look, we had our differences. We had this. But there's a deal out there. Let's do this deal. It's a good deal. Like nothing ever happened. And I think we need to learn to do that. If you're a business person out there, learn to do that. Learn to not just burn your bridges and say, oh, I'm done with this person forever. Why? Because there might be a deal out there who it might be for you guys. The deal might be out there. But because put ego aside, you can still get it done. You can still get it done. You ain't got to like each other, but if the numbers make sense, hey, both of you guys know you're not getting robbed, you're not getting ripped off, anything like that. If it makes sense, the numbers make sense for both sides. He's getting 50K, you getting 50K, or maybe you giving 40K. Hey, do the deal. Go back out there with your homie and say, hey, look, we got to do this deal. Let's put our differences aside. Yeah, we arguing, but we arguing for free. There ain't no money over there. We come back on this deal, we can at least make some bread, something to put some food on the table for our families. That's what it's about, right? So I support Kanye West in what he was saying. I support it. Why? Because it's from the heart. That's the only reason why. If it wasn't from the heart, if he was just faking it, if he was a culture vulture like Leo Cohen, like David Dash always says, I would be like, I don't know. But he ain't doing that. He just coming straight from the heart with it. It's like, no, this is Ye talking. I've been having all this in my mind for years. My mother is gone now. I don't know what to do. It's just terrible. And for the most part, Kanye West looks like a good guy now with all of that going on. He definitely looks like a good guy with all that going on. And I never thought I would say that. But like I said, my father went on for me. Oh, he's stupid. He's dumb. He's this. He's that. Rep Women of Figure Fitness says exactly. It's business sense. Yes, it is. It is business sense. I like that. I like that. I like when it's business sense. I like when people really come together and use their mind, even though, hey, he wasn't trying to offend nobody. He was just telling the facts. He was just telling the facts. And let me say this right now. People do not like when you tell the truth. It is true. In this world. Yes, we got free speech. You could say whatever you want. You could do whatever you want. You could go out here and promote whatever you want. But if it's the truth, I ain't saying everybody. Somebody is going to have issues with you if it's the truth. Because you might hit a nerve. People don't always like the truth. The truth exposes what's real. That's what it does. The truth exposes what is real. And people don't always like real. A lot of people hated Kevin Samuels. Hey, but I'm not going to bring up that today. I don't want to talk about that. But he was real with a lot of stuff. Some things I didn't agree with, but he was real with a lot of stuff. And people hated him for it because he was like, yo, this is what it is. This is what it was. This is what it is. You want a man making $500,000 a year? This is what he expects. I talk to these guys every day. This is what Kevin Samuels said. And that's why I'm really behind Kanye West on this. And hopefully him and Adidas get back together. Hopefully they do their thing. But with that being said, you got to know that he's in leverage now. He got leverage now if they're coming back to him and try to get a deal done. And man, did they sell those Yeezys? They sold out. They sold out. Selling them like hotcakes. And what I really love about the Yeezys, it's different. It's different. You got different shoes. People make different shoes all the time, and he got a different price point. One shoe is for $500, the other for $700. I seen one as many as $3,000. Rep Winston says with a better deal. I'm just saying, yes, no doubt, with a better deal. Definitely with a better deal. And I never said that. I never said I don't think he wouldn't get a better deal with that. Kanye West is that dude. You got certain people in this world, it's very difficult to do what they do. I'm talking about the Master P's. I'm talking about the Jay-Z's, I'm talking about Diddy, I'm talking about Dame Dash, I'm talking about Kanye West, 50 Cent. These people, mentally, their mind is in another place. Their mind is in another place. It's very difficult to do what they do. And the thing is, they don't chase money. They produce quality. I respect that. Produce quality. And money is right around the corner. It's right around the corner. You produce enough quality, the money is right there. Dame Dash once said his product is his product. He don't have to be nice. His product is great. I respect that. I respect that. And I never thought that those people were out of their minds anyway. Oh, let me say this too. Nas as well. Nas is a great businessman. Nas is a great businessman. For people that may not know out there, the doorbells, the one with the camera on them, Nas got his hand in it. He put up an investment on it. The dude has got a bright business mind. I love it. And that's why I'm saying with Kanye West, he's just out of this world with what he does, because he thinks so, I guess, so differently. 50 Cent thinks so differently. Jay-Z thinks so differently. They think ahead. It's how they think. And it's a good thing. That way, you're always ahead of the game. You know what's happened. You know when the stock market is getting ready to crash. You know when it's going to be up. You know when the housing market is going to be down. You know when it's going to be up. You know everything. You just know. You anticipate it because you're looking at the world. I don't know if they're reading the newspaper every day. They're watching CNN. I don't know what it is, but these brothers are bright. And I don't think for 1 second Kanye West didn't know what he was doing when he went to Drink Champs and had a rant. I think he knew what he was doing, for sure. Shout out to Nori for having him on the show and letting him express his mind. Because everybody may not do that. Maybe they might edit it out. They edit certain things out. That's probably what. But I mean, this brother went on for a straight 1 hour, hour and a half, 2 hours long on not Pimp Game Podcast, but on Drink Champs. And I'm feeling that. As long as it's from the heart, as long as it's true. As long as it is true. That's what you want. You want to do that. Yo, if you are just joining us, we are live on the Pimp Game Podcast, and we are here talking about the possible reunion of Adidas and Kanye West, a.k.a. Ye. As well as right here, right now, in the next 5-6 minutes, we got a special guest. He goes by the name of NEVEN. That's right. He's the owner and CEO of Jackie L Entertainment. We're going to be talking to him about what he got going on here on the Pimp Game Podcast. Rep Winfield said he needed to get out of that contract. It worked. I believe that. Yes, it did work. It did work. Maybe that deal was horrible. Maybe now we come back to the drawing board. Maybe it'll be a better deal. I'm hoping it's a better deal. I don't know who does deals for Kanye. Is it him? Is it he got a representative? What is it? I don't know. I don't know. But Kanye West is definitely doing his thing. And a lot of people dropped him. So you got to think, once Adidas picks him up, who else is going to pick him up? Nike, Reebok, what's up? What's one of y'all going to pick him up? If it don't work with Adidas, can y'all put your hand in it? Miss O Black says, I don't think he's going back. Why not? I don't think so either, but you never know. It's okay to dream. It's okay to dream. Let us know. Why not? Why you don't think he's coming back? But I think Kanye was definitely a genius for this one, to even get out of those deals. For saying all that stuff he said. And to me, you got to be, you got to be powerful with it. When you're doing this stuff, you got to be. And I think that, I don't think he knew that everybody was going to drop him. I don't know. I don't think he knew it was going to work that way. But it just happened that way. It just happened that way. That's how it went. And so many people counted the brother out. Oh, he was dumb. He was stupid. Look what he said about the Jewish. He's anti-Jewish. He don't like Jewish people. But sometimes, again, people don't like the truth. They don't like the truth. And that's how it is. That's how it is. Now, if you have somebody out there telling lies, maybe people will go along with it. Maybe they'll like that too. Some people are going to like that too. That's the truth. Everybody ain't going to like it, but some people are going to like it. Some people are going to be like it. And I think now, when you have people liking it, people, really invested into what you're saying, you're a household name, you doing your thing, people love it. All right? So, we are here at the bottom of the hour. We're getting ready to bring on our special guests. All right?
What's up, bro?
How you doing? How you doing, man? All
Right,
right.
bro. How you
All
doing, bro?
right. All
Kenny?
right. First, I would like to say welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. I love it. So, I mentioned your name a little bit, but for those people out there who may not know you, who may not know who you are, just give us your name and tell us what you do in a couple of seconds.
Couple of seconds. My name is Nevin Maline, producer, promoter, DMV comedy for the last going on 18 years now.
Wow. Oh, my goodness. Big numbers. I like that. So, let's go back to where it all started for you as a young boy, young kid growing up with your moms, with your dad, with your brother, sister, whoever. How did you fall in love with the entertainment world? How did Nevin fall in love with the entertainment world?
My history goes back a long way, bro. I started back in the 90s, and I used to do a lot of go-go fun with brother Icy Ice, used to be known as the Poster King. Back in the early to mid 90s, we used to ride around the city slapping up all the posters and the flyers for all of the go-go bands in the area, from uptown Northwest to the South Side, all over parts of Maryland. Then from there, graduated, moved into Positive Black Men Coalition for about 4 or 5 years, helping to promote some of the largest parties in the area. And they did all of the legwork, honestly, but we were just there to help and assist, put flyers out all over the city. So that's when I realized I wanted to adopt that same style of promotion for myself. And I got into trying to do some go-go myself. Started kind of small, but that wasn't my thing, wasn't my lane. So honestly, I prayed about it. And God said, you got to give back and help. But I fell in love with comedy. You know what I'm saying? With stand-up comedy. A lot of people always ask, am I a comedian? And I'm like, no, I'm not a comedian, but I produce and promote my own shows. So along the way, bringing comedy to the city and to the area has allowed a lot of people to come out and enjoy themselves in an intimate setting, to meet the comedians, to have a great time. And it's been for some of the most blessed reasons ever. Whether people have lost jobs or been sick and have been able to get out of the house and they finally come to a show, and it's like the best time ever for them. So I really appreciate that, and that's really why
I
I do
like
it. I have
that.
a
I
big
like
why,
that.
you
I
know.
like that. Gotta have a why. So, going back to where you putting up posters, you and the Black Man's Coalition, all of that, you doing your thing. Was it pro bono or was they paying you? Or you just doing it for the love of the game? Let us know right here on the Pimp Game Podcast.
Right here, right now. Now, when I was doing Icy Ice and we did the Ice Box and the Taj Mahal and Zulu K, that was more for free. That was pro bono. Positive Black Men Coalition, I always did get paid. You know what I mean? So the benefits were decent there for a young up-and-coming promoter trying to figure his way out. So yeah, man, that's how I
So
got it going.
let me ask you this, because I've been to the Ice Box. I've never been to the Black Hole or nothing like that, but I've been to the Ice Box. Back then in the go-go scene, people used to fight. I'm talking about 640, Hobart, all these neighborhoods, Mattapony, 43rd, where I was from, right? What's up? Was it scary for you when you was there? These people fighting? I seen Big G fighting in there a couple of times myself. What's up? Was it scary putting up those posters not knowing that somebody was going to hit you?
Listen, I mean, for all of that kind of stuff, people just knew us as the Poster King guys. We putting up promotions passing out flyers. It was never a problem. And we didn't think about it like that back in the day. You know what I'm saying? There were a couple instances in the city, as well as, you know, in Maryland once or twice, where we saw some things go down. But it wasn't like it was a consistent thing that was happening. Even though some of the crews will be beefing and bring that type of negativity to the go-go, it didn't happen that often. You understand? So it's not something that we got used to or look for all the time. And when it happens, it's just a part of what's going on with the culture of it. That's all. Same, you know, similar to a rock and roll situation. When them guys get to going crazy in the pit, they pushing and shoving. Some of them might get stabbed, punched in the face, all kinds of stuff happens.
Facts. So, going. Are we talking about the go-go? One of the pioneers in the game. He passed away, but several years ago, a couple of years ago. I know he got a daughter in a band now. Chuck Brown. He passed away. Where were you when you got the news, and how devastating was that for the go-go world, for the music industry in terms of the hometown DC DMV, who we all love go-go? How devastating was that for DC?
I think personally it was a lot. I met Chuck personally, had family and friends that used to socialize with him off stage, and I think it was something that was very hurtful. It was shocking, even though we knew Chuck was sick and had been in the hospital for some time. I know his daughter. I used to work with her back in our Icebox days in the 90s, the late 90s, early 2000s, should I say, around that time. Yeah, losing Chuck, the godfather of everything, that was it's a bit traumatic when you come into that sound, but it wasn't uncommon just because, you know, everything.
Okay, I like that. Yo, if you are just joining us, you are tuned in to the Pimp Game Podcast, and we're here with the one and only Nevin. That's right. He is the owner and CEO of Jackie L Entertainment. I'm feeling it hard. I like it. So let me ask you this. Now, you're doing comedy shows. You're throwing the events. I went to your event. I remember when I first heard about it from a homegirl of mine, Alicia, or what have you. I was like, oh, I ain't going to this bootleg joint. But when I went there, it was lit. It was lit. It was packed. I was like, oh, I'm feeling this. I'm really feeling this. This dude is doing it. What was it hard for you to throw your first show? Was that the first show? Was that the most difficult show for you, or you just got off the ground running and everything was packed as it is now?
Starting off, it wasn't terribly hard, even though I had some ups and downs. I've always kept a smaller variety, and a lot of people wonder why. Part of the reason is because I love the intimate feel and close-up observation and the feeling of a good comedy show where people can relate to the environment of what's going on. It's not in a big arena. It's kind of difficult to do those shows all the time, but when I first started, I was in an art gallery, and then I was in a small event center, and I moved basically to wherever a show can be held, you know what I'm saying? And I'm still doing that because it's where the people are. I don't need anything impersonal. And at the same time, like I say, over the years, I've had harder shows last year than what I had in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with getting people out and dealing with COVID, post-COVID, and all of that kind of stuff. The numbers were just not there, and a lot of money was lost. But if you do anything long enough, you know you're going to have your ups and your downs.
True. So, with throwing these shows, I went to a couple of them, as I mentioned. One of the things I was impressed with, every comedian was funny. I don't think I've ever gone there and they weren't funny. I'm talking about they dope. They coming from all the states, New York, they coming from Atlanta, they coming from Alabama, Mississippi. You pulling them from everywhere. What's up? You ordered a limo for them to come from Alabama all the way to DC? What's really going on? How are you getting these dope comedians to come on the show and give maximum effort on your platform?
Well, you know, it's always about a payday, you know, and a legitimate performer or artist in their craft is going to deliver the goods wherever they coming from and wherever they coming to. It's about what they want to do, and they're establishing their name. So sometimes we pay for travel, sometimes I don't. Oftentimes, of course, you need to put them up in a room, you know, to provide some type of housing or for a day or so, you know, depending on what your setup is. But I'm just a smaller variety of what the larger clubs that might seat 200 or 300 people, like the Improv or something like that. I'm a smaller variety of that. So yes, I've had to provide the house and sometimes a meal or two to make them comfortable when they're not at home. But this is what they do, and I definitely want to make that experience better than what they typically experience or have in the past when it comes to, you know, not being treated right, not getting paid what they were promised, stuff like that, with or without a contract. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So, and like I said, it's been a long time for me. I'm going on 18 years as of June, been putting these shows together. So I pretty much got a good pulse of what goes on in the comedy community and putting these decent shows together and talking to guys and ladies and getting them here to understand, how things can go, and allowing them to
I
feel
like that. I
comfortable with who
like
I
that.
am.
I like that. So, are you looking to maybe take your show on the road, maybe to Cali, maybe to Atlanta, another city where I know it's gonna be popping over there too? I know you're popping here in the DMV, but is that something in the near future where maybe you're looking to take your show on the road?
Well, funny enough, it's funny that you say that because in 21, that's exactly what I did in October 21. I was able to secure a venue via my god sister down in the ATL when we did the DMV takeover. I went down with the, now the Commanders, but, Washington versus the Falcons down there. And we did a lot of different things. There was a whole lot going on. The go-go bands went down and everything. So I was able to do a comedy show down there right in downtown Atlanta and had about 50 people come out. And that's good for the first time in another city. You know what I'm saying? Embracing some of the comedians that were there that I knew of and had worked with up here. So getting them at home was a little bit different, and getting them to pull some of their friends and family out, and as well as having a couple of guys from here. Shout out to my man Tony Spoon and my man Dwayne Watts from up here in DC, and took those guys down with us. And me and my cousin, we threw a nice show, and it was great, man. We had a great time, really great time, with some area connections down there. So hopefully land the seeds for a future production and doing some good business in other places as well. So yes, that definitely desirous of moving into the Carolinas, possibly doing something in the Midwest one day soon.
I like
We'll see
that.
what
I
happens.
like that. So, in the midst of you putting everything together, putting other shows together, trying to get in other states, other cities, all of that, is there maybe a much a bigger household name, maybe a Chris Rock, maybe Linnell or something like that? Are you looking to get one of them in one of your shows, or have you already gotten them before and just looking to work with them again?
I never quite had anybody of that stature. Now I've had some A-listers that have worked their way. They've done some things, and not on the necessarily, I wouldn't say the decline, but everything settles down. It levels off a little bit. So some of your A-listers from, let's say, 10, 15 years ago, and they've been in the game 25 or 30 years, they're at the mid-level, right, where, they still have the reputation and the respect in the industry. So working on somebody like that is definitely in the cards. As they say, it takes time, though, to get that kind of financial foundation up to get what those guys and girls are looking for. It's really hefty to do this for one person. And I think a lot of promoters back away from comedy in particular because they don't really quite understand what they're getting out of it, other than, you bringing the funny and hopefully bringing a name that people can recognize enough to purchase your tickets and, on a wing and a prayer, so to
Okay.
speak. So,
Okay,
yeah,
I
it's
like
been,
that. I like that. I like that. So let me ask this, because you have your fair share of comedians that's coming on the show doing their thing. What is your process for vetting these comedians to make sure they're funny? Because like I said earlier, every comedian I've seen, they've been funny. I ain't seen one yet that wasn't funny. What's your process? Like, you got to know that they're already doing it. Can you get someone who, I don't know, maybe they ain't doing it, but maybe they gotta make you laugh at first before you put them on your program? How does that work? What's your process for vetting these comedians?
everybody. It's just like going on a regular job interview. And people sometimes don't understand this, but you need video footage. You need something to show and prove that you are who you say you are. And some people don't understand that. And I've had some run-ins with some folks who just simply didn't get that. But everybody, you have to have a resume. I don't care what job you go applying for. you know, you got to see the level of experience. So if I can see your experience, okay, you might be a newer comedian in the last 5 or 7 years, but then, you know, where's your work ethic? You know, let me see your video work. Let me see what you've done. Are you indeed funny, or do you have the potential of being funny? Can I help in some way build that expectation up while you're on the road here and helping give you an audience and a face in this market? You know, that's the vetting process to start out. I'm all about personal relationships. If that goes well in the beginning and it's not, I don't need nobody kissing my ass. You know what I'm saying? I just want somebody to be regular, be straightforward. Let's do business straight up, and let's make it happen. You know, and I can try to get you here and put you in front of a crowd that will remember your face.
Okay.
You know?
I like that. Yo, if you are just joining us, we are live on the Pimp Game Podcast, and we're here with the one and only promoter of the year. I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. Promoter of the year, Nevin. That's right. He's the owner and CEO of Jackie L Entertainment. I'm feeling it hard on the Pimp Game Podcast. So let me ask you this. The name Jackie L Entertainment, I'm feeling it. It stands out. I like it. It's dope. It's all of that. It got flavor. It got swag. It got all of that. Where you get the name from, Jackie L Entertainment? It really stands out. Where does that name come from?
Jackie is my mother, and L was my mother's middle name. So if you look at my logo, you'll see her face is in my logo. You know what I'm saying? So it's very personal, and the reason that I do what I do is because of her. My mother used to love to laugh very hearty, got into watching all the older funny shows, talking about the Three Stooges, Little Rascals, and stuff like that. So when my mother, she never really, you know what I'm saying, we never really had the chance to talk about this in perspective, but at the same time, she's my inspiration for quite a bit. She was my inspiration for cooking and going to culinary school, and then this quietly, yeah, like I said, I really got started after she passed away in 2007. And so I made it personal. A friend of mine, shout out to our vet Queen, who encouraged me to switch over. I started out as Prophecy Entertainment, and somebody got me confused with another promoter who was doing some bands and stuff like that, and some stuff that gotten crazy, and they were like, oh, you that guy that did the show? I'm like, no. I said I needed to change, and that change was right on time, and that suggestion from Sister Arvette was like, you need to make it personal so nobody can steal it, and it means everything to you. So I've been Jackie L ever since, and that's been like probably 2010.
I like
2010.
that. I like that. 18 years in the game. I like it. Sound like a drug lord, but I love it. I love it. So let me ask you this, because you mentioned your mom, very sentimental to you, very inspirational in your life. Was Mom's the type of person who, if you wasn't funny, she gonna let you know off the rip, even though she gonna laugh when it is funny? Will she let you know, like, yo, you ain't funny? What's up with that? How was Mom? What was her personality?
But you know, typical mother-son relationship. I got away with a lot of things being the baby, and at the time the only boy. But yeah, I mean, we laughed a lot. We did a lot of that. But when it wasn't funny, yeah, she had, she let you know that, and it was time to get that belt or whatever it was. You know what I'm. But as a race came as well, we used to talk about stuff like that, and we would laugh and just talk about life. You know what I'm saying? And so as you think back on these things in hindsight, that meant a whole lot to me. So it causes a lot later on. You know, once you get the ball rolling in your early years, you never know what'll happen. You know, so I can to honor her legacy as many ways as possible.
All right. So many people don't know we had Bruh Man on the show, on the Pimp Game Podcast. That's right. I was talking to him. I asked him, hey, what's his top 5 comedians? So we're going to go ahead and turn it around to you, the face of the franchise, the guy who's bringing the comedians in for 18 years. What's your top 5 comedians of all time, dead or alive? I don't know. What's your top 5 comedians?
That's kind of hard, man. You asking. I done seen so much funny, and I don't want to go with cliche or typical, but I gotta go with the ones that I like. I gotta say Bernie Mac. I gotta go Martin Lawrence, Eddie Murphy, in no particular order. As you said, I'm just giving you the 5. Always paying honor to the ladies. And my mentor, I gotta throw
Sylvia
Dr. Sylvia
Tremor.
Tremor in there.
Okay.
To
Okay.
me, I don't care
Okay.
what else think about that. That's 4. And number 5, wow. Sheesh. I don't know, man. Dang, let me see. I said Martin, Eddie. Somebody that has made me fall out, I gotta go DL. I just put DL in there in my top 5.
DL.
I say DL or Earthquake.
Okay. You giving me 5 or 6. We said 5. And also, I got a little beef to pick with you. I don't hear Cat Williams. What is going on? What's wrong with the world today? Cat Williams is not in your top 5. What's going on?
Because that is, you gotta extend that list to the top 10 to get some. You know, Cap, my man. Don't get me wrong. I love Cap. When he here, I run and go see him, get them tickets quick. But at the same time, your historical hitters, no matter what, over the last 25 plus, that's why I say Martin Lawrence, Eddie Murphy. You can't go wrong with all that. So it's always love with everybody. And you try to fit a little bit of this and a little bit of local. You got some cats around here, funniest ever. Period. And that's why I say Earthquake is definitely one of them. I can't say who's better, who's this, and who's that. I don't get into all that.
Okay.
I just know who's funny to me. And somebody else, generally speaking, I'm a good judge of opinion or character, as they say, when it comes to hitting that stage. So I can say, okay, if they pretty much funny to me, I know they're going to be all right with a number of people enough to get tickets sold.
Okay. I like that. That's your Neven's top 5. I'm feeling it. All right. So, me and you talk briefly. You do some community outreach. Can you allude or talk to us about that? Maybe give us the insight on that with Team Durant, Kevin Durant. You're helping people all across the community. What's up with the community outreach? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I've been doing that now for about 4 years, and I appreciate you asking about this like we talked about. I've been doing that now for about 4 years, and when I first started on the girls' side of Team Durant with a brother named Devon Williams, who was the director at the time, and I got started, and then Kevin's dad, who's a general manager and runs the entire organization, Coach Wayne Pratt, reached out to me and wanted me to do the boys as well. So he was like, just keep doing it and we'll give you whatever you need. So they have always given me everything that I need to reach out to the community. I established community partnerships with community action agencies, everything from Shepherd's Cove, UCAP, United Communities Against Poverty, all the way to the DC Diaper Bank, as well as the Prince George's House for Men's Shelter, a number of different agencies, CCNB, Community Coalition for Nonviolence. We've done quite a bit in the last 4 years. And again, that's Kevin's heart. If anybody knows who Kevin is personally, then you know that community outreach and community service has always been one of his biggest drivers and motivators for whatever city he's in. And he's established a base for all of that directly through his organization and then directly through his grassroots. He has different, it's a breakdown, different pieces to his entire organization. You got 35 Ventures, which is his business, where he's done some film work and some technology work and stuff like that. Then you have Team Durant. Then you have the Kevin Durant, the Family Foundation. And then you have the program over at Sutton High School that developed the College Learning Center that sponsored that through him and everything. So he's sending hundreds of kids to school. And he's done that not just here in the DMV area in Seat Pleasant, PG County, and DC, but it's also in other places like New York and Golden State out in California. Wherever he's been, he's established these programs that his organization continues to work with. So I love doing it. I love mobilizing our families and team members, the players and the coaches that support so heavily. And I'm trying to get more people out because we got to just realize that community service is the debt we pay for the time we're here on earth. You know what I'm saying? And that's a big deal. That's a real big deal. So thank you for plugging that, and I appreciate that. So I do 6 events a year with Team, and the next one will be in August because right now we getting ready to kick off AAU season, literally like this weekend. So when the season is in tow, the parents are all over the country. They moving all over with their kids, sons and daughters. Heavy schedule with both boys and girls, EYBL, Nike sponsored, Elite Youth Basketball League. So they do a lot of traveling,
Okay.
a lot of hotel living, and hit a lot of
I like
shows.
that. I like that. Wow, 6 events on the year. That's really impactful. I'm really feeling the community outreach. So real quick on the community outreach. Now that you're doing it, you're heavily invested in it, is there a thing where you could go back to them and say, hey, look, we're doing 6 events a year. Can we up it to 8? That way we can get more quality out of the events and things of that nature. And that's something you could come back to them and say?
Time-wise,
Okay.
it wouldn't fit the schedule because of where the kids fit in. They're literally, like I say, try out first week of March, and the schedule runs all the way through to the end of July. So the best time frame, I get most of my events in August through December, and try to take a break for the holidays. You coming into the new year in January. So my last event is typically like late January, early February after we get into the new year. So I try to space that out based on what they requested of me to put together 6 events. If I wanted to do 8, it would be a squeeze, but it could be possible only in that it would have to hit or target a certain group, a certain audience, and be guaranteed support. Because you have to drum up promotion as well. Because it's not just us, it's for the community to support and make it easy for people to come out. Our family and our friends, but also other church members, our extended family and friends, and so forth. So people got to embrace that, promote it, drum up the support, get the resources together. That's how that goes. So it takes time to do that. On a minimum average of 2 to 3 weeks to have a successful event that people have visibly seen on social media, and they can be expected to come out and support and gather their supplies and whatever is needed. We do a lot of toiletry drives. We do a lot of just action agency stuff where we're trying to put our hands on whatever resources are needed. So that's how that goes. So 6 will probably be our max.
Okay. So 6 is the max. So let me ask you this in terms of the comedy shows that you do throw, which are frequent all the time. What's up next for the comedy shows? Any new comedy shows coming up here in the near future? I know we're coming up on summertime. Any new comedy shows coming right here now in the near future?
Absolutely. I do 2 shows a month. The first Saturday of the month, I'm at the Flavor Garden in D.C. It's a restaurant on Connecticut Avenue, right next to UDC. And that's where I feature my major headline comedians. And we just finished, shout out to my cousin Tierra from Chicago, who just came to the city and shut it down, sold out every ticket. It was a very successful show. Some of my older patrons, like yourself, you haven't seen. That was a packed house, man. It was a packed house. So I look forward to seeing some of the older faces, but there's a lot of new people that's coming through, depending on the venue. And I prayed on it. Like I said, I promised to myself that I would give every effort to make 23 a much better year than 22. So yeah, coming up, moving forward to April the 8th, I'm sorry, April the 8th and 15th. The 8th is Sister Coco Brown, who is out of the Atlanta area, but she's from like Norfolk, Virginia. She worked with Tyler Perry. Been in a lot of movies. She has 2 new movies coming out, and the original booking for her was early last year, and it didn't happen in the fall like it was supposed to because she had a filming schedule. But she's been on 911. She was on 911 for about 2 seasons. She's also been in BMF season 1. She was in P Valley last season. So the sister's working. She's grinding in Hollywood, and it's very funny when she does her stand-up. So when she's not filming, she's hitting stages all across the country. She has a stand-up special called, I believe it's Famous Enough.
That.
Called Famous.
I like that. I'm feeling that.
So she was, definitely, when we talked about doing things, she did a nice drop that I'm going to keep pushing and keep promoting. She's definitely going to tear it down April 8th. And then on the second Saturday of every month, I'm at Ladies First Cigars in Clinton, Maryland. It's a Black woman-owned establishment that we're doing comedy and spoken word. My boy Monday host. My Saturday night host is comedian Lawrence Owens. Very funny dude. Talking about hilarious. So things go well with those hosts locked in. and people can be encouraged to come out and see them as well. It's not just about the headliners; it's about your host. It's kind of like having a big point guard in
Right.
basketball.
Okay,
You know,
okay.
you got them two.
Okay.
You can almost
Round
put
it.
everything else in the middle and kind of
Sense. That makes sense.
exactly. So
That
yeah.
does make sense. So let me ask you this for a young boy out there who might want to do his own Jackie L Entertainment, obviously a different name, or for a young girl out there who want to do their own Jackie L Entertainment, right? What would you tell them that they need to look out for if they want to get in the game in terms of maybe throwing comedy events such as you're doing right now? What do they need to watch out for if they want to get in the game?
Well, maybe not just comedy, but if they just want to do any form of entertainment, know what you want to specialize in. You know, a lot of this promotional stuff is always done by, you know, a lot of guys and even a lot of ladies too. They do it to make money. It's about money, and there's nothing wrong with that. However, for people like myself, it's different. So I'd encourage them to say to them, know your why you're doing it. You know, are you just trying to get, you know, put in money to make money? Then that's fine if that's what you want to do. And then you approach it to make sure you got the right funding and the capital to do so. It may not be necessarily relationship based. A lot of this, I guess, you know, again, just like anything else, a lot of this stuff is done based on ego. It's based on pride. And that's when things can kind of come to a big time fall as well. So I would always say, know your why you want to do it. Have your resources in tow. Make sure they're attached to you at all times. And then figure out what angle you want to approach, who you want to promote to. And again, always the permeate theme is why are you doing this? You know, why? One thing, figure out why you even want to get in this game. Because there's a lot of other ways to invest your money and to make money or to do something meaningful. You know, you can invest in, you can buy shoes and,
Right.
you know, you can do almost anything. Internet, Instagram.
That's true. That is true. That is very true. Very true. So we talked about it earlier on in the show before we brought you on. The topic of today is Adidas and Kanye West might be getting back together for a reunion. You know, Kanye West went off on Drink Champs and he faced, you know, punishment for it somewhat, right? What is your thoughts on the possible reunion of Kanye West and Adidas?
I always say, man, anything is possible. He spoke the truth. We don't like how he presented it necessarily. And let me say this, that's an ugly ass shoe. But apparently, my opinion don't matter. I ain't got to buy it. So it hurt his pocket nonetheless. And, you know, they giving him a contract for $500 million. It's, you know, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. If their sales drop because Ye not on the list no more, then they, you know, they looking at their bottom line like, oh, damn, we got to get him back because he the one that's moving and, you know, making the money move. So, you know, in this society we live in, like I say, it's capitalistic. It's about that buck. So they're trying to make that money. So more than likely, if they already talking, it's already happening.
For sure.
You know,
for sure. All right. I like that. So, real quick, for those people out, your day ones who've been rocking with you since you started your 18-year journey, since you was, you know, back putting up posters back in the go-go everywhere. What's up? How do people reach you if they want to get in contact with you? Maybe they want to do an event with you. Maybe they want to feature, whatever. How do they get in contact with Nevin?
First thing I always tell people is old school. You can always give me a call or a text, 301-613-8793. If you following on social media, my Instagram is Jackie Lent, like Jackie Lent, Jackie Lent. Facebook, Nevin Raheem, RAH -HIM, Nevin Raheem. You can find me and you'll see my face on there. You know what I'm saying? Instagram is pretty much it. I don't do a lot of all of that other stuff. I do Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Those three, and you can pretty much find me on those three, being very active daily, you know, and what I do, promotions and just other stuff as well. So that's how you say. When all of those fails, give me a call.
Old school,
text message.
Mr. Old School. I like it. So, any final thoughts out there for your fans before we sign off on Pimp Game?
I say continue to support and show not just me love, but your local entertainers, because before somebody make it big, they start right here in your backyard. Support local comedy, support local music. I try to bring a lot of all of that along with spoken word artists. It's not poetry,
Right.
like reading out a book or something like that. If you have it, then you have to see it. I think most people have seen it. If you've been to any of my shows, you can probably think back to when you saw a spoken word artist come out and really do their thing. And I've had some really, really good ones. Really good. So continue to support your local artists. Come out to have a good time. Well, expect the best when you spend your money.
I like that. I like that. Getting the best. I love it. So let everybody know who you chilling with.
I'm chilling with Kenny D. And it's the Pimp Game Podcast.
And that concludes our show for this evening. And before we let you go, I'd like to say thank you to all our viewers out there, as well as our YouTube lovers. I want to say thank you to you as well. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. That's right. You're going to go to iamkennyd and subscribe. And make sure you turn those notifications on, so when we upload videos, you are the first to get it. And last but not least, we like to thank NEVEN. That's right. 18 years in the game for blessing us with his presence on the show. All right? See you next time on Pimp Game. You don't want to miss it. Holla.